Hi, my name's Caleb Odle, and I am part of the Adventures in Missions program, AIM for short. AIM is a program part of SIBI, Sunset International Bible Institute. It is located in Lubbock, Texas, and I've been there for the past 8 months doing some training. And so today I'm just going to talk about what I've been doing and what I'm about to go do, and just kind of introduce you into the AIM program and what it's about. I went the wrong direction. So, what I've been doing the past 8 months. What I've been doing the past 8 months is a lot of stuff. So, we'll start off with going through my classes. My classes consisted of Acts, Matthew, Luke, the Old Testament, the New Testament, Romans, Men and Women of the Mission, 1st and 2nd Timothy, and Titus, among others. And through these classes, they were training us in different things. They were deepening our knowledge of the Bible, where it came from, what it was about. They were strengthening us spiritually and helping us dive in deeper into God's Word. They were also teaching us how to be effective missionaries. AIM is a missionary program, and so they were teaching us how to share the gospel effectively, how to answer questions I didn't know how to answer beforehand, and how to respond to some of those harder things to respond to out in the world that you encounter today. One of my favorite classes that we went through was called the Spiritual Disciplines. These were two of the books from my class, Celebration of Discipline by Richard J. Foster and Spirit of Disciplines by Dallas Willard. And this class was really amazing because it really deepened my spiritual walk. Going through some of the spiritual disciplines like fasting, silence and solitude, journaling, submission, just these different prayer. All of these really helped me to get spiritually deeper and closer to God and strengthen my relationship to Him. One of the most important factors of a missionary is being firm in a spiritual foundation, and spiritual disciplines really provided that for me. I'm even now currently still working on some of those and am continuing to develop those in my life because they're so helpful and useful, and they're quite amazing. Another class I want to talk to you about is the Case for Historic Christianity and New Testament Documents. Those were two of the books that we had in our class of how we got the Bible, why it's trustworthy, what evidence we have for the Bible being the way it is. How do we know the Bible is the way it is and that it's accurate, that this is God's Word? What proves the Bible of itself? Also, the Case for Christ was another book we used. Missions was another class we took. In this class, we went through tons of different cultural scenarios and things actual missionaries had gone through. We were trained in how to handle different cultural situations as well as just adapting as a missionary. As a missionary, you have to go in and you have to conform to the culture around you so that you can kind of match and start to make connections with people so that you can reach them and start to share Christ with them. And without that, I couldn't have learned how to do that. We also had some really cool extra classes. Not all of the training in AIM is in class, and that's really cool. We also get hands-on experience. Part of the time we were doing extra things, like we had what was called area church on Sundays, where we would go to a church congregation and we would serve there. I led communion talks, I did devotionals, led song leading. Some people preached and led classes. The ladies led a lot of the children's classes, and so everybody was just really involved and got hands-on stuff in that application. We also had things like we had missionary work that we would go out into the community. We would do public services. We would also do evangelism things where we would have to go share the gospel to different people and figure out strategies to do that. And as my team, as it was put together, we started to work on that and really start to develop those things. So those are some of our extra classes. We also did a lot of trips, projects, and service work. One of the biggest of those was Mexico City Camp Adventure and March Madness. We first went to Mexico City, and that was a really crazy trip. In that first picture, you see us in a boat, and that was part of our training, actually, in that. We did this big, long race, and this is right after we got our team together. And in this race, we were learning how to work effectively as a team together. So we had to do a lot of problem solving, face a lot of problems and issues, and try to figure out how to work through those, especially as a new team, working out a new team dynamic. So that was a really helpful exercise we did there. And it was really cool because we just got to explore some of the city as well. We were there doing that. And then in the other picture, you see us walking around doing musical chairs. And before that, we had helped with Sunday service with the church there. We'd done communion, and we'd helped and learned some of the language and met a lot of the members there, and we served and we worked with them, really encouraged them. And there we were playing with the teens. We were doing a teen thing. There was a teen thing that in the evening, and we sang some songs, did devotional, and then we played musical chairs and a few other games, and it was a blast. We really got to connect to the teens there, and that was awesome. Another couple of cool things we did there that I didn't get pictures of up there is we went on a cultural day where we explored the culture and got into the culture and got to see all these cool things, do a few touristy things for fun, but really understand the culture and kind of learn how a missionary interacts with the culture. We also went to one of our teachers and the director of AIM. One of his favorite things to do in a new city and stuff like that is go to the tallest point in the city. So we went to the Latin America Tower, which is now the second tallest point, but it used to be the tallest point, and it's really high. You can see almost the entire city. And what we did up there is we prayed. We prayed over the city and for the mission work and effort that God was putting into there, and for the missionaries who are already working there. And one of the things he always recommended is every time you go to a new place, every time you go to a new field, or you're going to work somewhere, go to the highest point and pray over the city, because prayer is powerful, and God works through and answers prayers. And so that was one of the things he would encourage us to do, and that was a really cool moment we had there in Mexico City. Another cool thing we got to do is what's called Camp Adventure. And for anyone interested in AIM, this is the place to go. You go to aim.sunset.bible, and it'll take you to their page, and there you can sign up for Camp Adventures if you're interested. But at Camp Adventure, what we're doing is we're introducing the kids to AIM, what it's about. We take them and show them where we do our classes. They get to tour the apartments, and then we also just have a very deep and spiritual, enriching time. And you can look at the age ranges and when it's available, but they have a week-long one and a 3-day one. I personally prefer the week-long one because we get to spend more time. The actual aimers who are going through the program are the counselors for that, so you get to talk with all the campers. I got to have some really cool, deep, spiritual conversations with some of them, and also just share what AIM's about. AIM's a big family, it's a big program, and it's got a lot of facets, and it's amazing. And so it has a lot of questions that come up and a lot of things, and also the kids just get to see how aimers interact, and it's really cool. I went to Camp Adventure before I went to AIM, and it was useful in trying to decide what I was going to do in the next step of my life. Another really cool trip that we went on was what's called our March Madness trip, and this contained a few short trips and then a really long trip down the East Coast. And we did a lot of traveling. We did a lot of service work. We worked with a lot of congregations. And what we were doing is we weren't just doing service work, but we were encouraging the conversations and promoting AIM. And it's a really important trip so that AIM can get more students, because one of the biggest things AIM is lacking right now is students. They need more and more students. They have more fields than they have students they can send to. And so we went and promoted, but we also did a lot of service and encouraging. And then we also had some fun. On the left, we have a picture up there, and we were doing some line dances there when we went to Colonial Williamsburg, and we just got to have a fun afternoon there and hang out there. We also got to go to Washington, D.C. and visit the Lincoln Memorial, and we had some fun there that afternoon. But we also got to do a lot of cool youth events. We got to lead some services. I did another communion talk, and my teammate led singing, and there was a few other things that we did for services. We did something called flag presentations, where aimers line up with flags, and we have this talk about who AIM is, what we're here for, and how we're here to serve and promote God's kingdom to the world. And so that was some cool stuff we got to do on that trip. So that's what I've done the past 8 months, and there was so much more learning and growing, but can't cover all that. Don't have enough time. And honestly, I've forgotten some of the stuff, but there's a lot that happened, and it was amazing. But I'm about to go to a place called Arlington, Texas. That'll be my field for the next 16 to 22 months. and I'll be serving there with a team of 5 people. And in Arlington, and those are some pictures of Arlington with the AT&T Stadium of the Dallas Cowboys, the football field there, and just pictures of the city and where it's at in Texas. But I'll be going with these 5 people, the team that I'll be working with. Tabby Highland is the far left lady in the picture, and then next to her we have Lisa Henry, and then further in, close to me, is Libby Tharp, and then we have me, and then Yair Martinez on my other side. And these are amazing people. They've gone through the program. We've developed a pretty good, close relationship, and right now we're still working and developing on our team dynamics, but we're ready to go to the field, and we're excited for it. We're really excited to go work with Mike and Myra is who we'll be working with, and he's got 2 daughters. One of them's graduating in college currently, but the other one's still at home. And right now Mike is our coordinator, and he'll basically be leading, guiding, and directing us. He'll be teaching us as well, because we're missionaries, but we're going to go serve under him, who's an established missionary. So we're also kind of training at the same time as we're serving and learning hands-on. Mike's the youth pastor there currently. He also works with college students and stuff like that. So a lot of the work we'll be doing will be college students and youth age. And so while I'm there, some of the general ministries I'll be working with will be Hearts and Hands. And then we'll be working with Promoting AIM. We'll have staff meetings that we'll go to and attend. We'll be working with Wednesday night meals. We'll be with the greeter and hospitality team. We'll be working with growth groups, and we'll just be serving at the church, doing things for service and such like that. We'll also have weekly mentorship meetings with Mike, which is really cool, and that's where we get to go talk to him either one-on-one or as a team, and we'll have different books we'll go through and different learning opportunities we'll have through that. We'll also be doing different evangelism activities. We'll also have some children-specific opportunities and ministries. We'll be partnering with a children and family minister. His name's Trey Lemnock. We'll also have weekly involvement with outreach Bible classes for children and curriculum planning for those classes. We'll also have special events we'll get to go to designed to help families grow closer to God and each other in the community, including things like VBS, summer camps, and special events, and other mission work like that. We'll also get to work a lot with the youth group, with camps and Bible classes with them. We'll also have a chance to mentor a couple of the teenagers that we attach to, and we'll get to walk alongside them and help them develop their spiritual walk deeper. We'll also have impact projects where we get to encourage and work with and supervise the teens doing service work in the community, so we'll get to work with them doing that. We'll also have what's called the Tri-C, which is where about 50% of our time will be spent with. This is their college ministry at UTA, University of Texas in Arlington. And there we'll be working with things like Friend Speak. We'll be working with the international students and foreign exchange students as they come in and getting to really know them. We'll also table on campus, spreading awareness of the Tri-C, because they have a building on campus where they serve kids meals, because college students are poor, tend not to get very good food, where we can also just interact with them and meet people and get Bible studies and that type of stuff. We'll also have coffee and worship nights, and we'll just be working a lot with the campus and meeting people, getting Bible studies, and really connecting with people that way. So those are some really cool things we'll get to work with while we're down there. And so different things that you guys can do is by staying in touch with me. Staying in touch is really helpful, and you can find my information by contacting me just through email or phone, and then praying for me. Lots of prayers would be very appreciated. Again, God answers prayers, and this work is hard. It's got a lot of facets. I got to raise support and stuff, and that's hard and a long process, and life happens. The economy has hard times right now. And there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and so I'm really thankful for the supporters I have now. Thank you guys so much. I would be here without you guys, and what you guys have done for me and how you guys have improved my life and my spiritual development, as well as now I can share the gospel more effectively. And I know it's hard, and I know it's difficult, and so currently I've raised $1,000 of support. I need $1,600 a month. And I've only raised $1,000 per month. So if you guys know anyone that you can put me in contact with, I would love that, so I can try to raise some more support. Or if you can personally support me, that would be awesome as well. And so that's the end of my presentation. Some commonly asked questions is, why would you choose AIM over college? And I chose AIM over college because knowing what AIM was and how it develops you spiritually, because I talked to some current AIMers and went to Camp Adventure, knowing that how it deeply, it gives you a good solid foundation of faith. It allows you to answer some of those hard questions. It allows you to be effective in sharing the gospel. If I went to college first, I wouldn't be prepared for that. A lot of college age students, a lot of teenagers just out of high school drop away from the church because they don't have a strong faith. They don't have answers to those questions, and they get asked them, and then they start to worry, and then they start to fall away. And I didn't want to be like that. I wanted to be firm in my faith. I wanted to be able to share the gospel with all the people out there, because college students is an amazing ministry. There's a lot out there that are hurting and questioning, and it's a big ministry area right now. And so being able to effectively minister in that area and spread the gospel in that area was really important. And so just seeing AIM and how it developed its students, I wanted to have that development before I went into the college area. And I've had a little bit of the college scene because I did a year of college before I went there. And realizing that this program really does help develop you and really is important, as well as it's called Adventures and Missions. It's an adventure. It's fun. There's a lot of cool experiences you get to have, a lot of growth. You develop in so many more ways than just spiritually. You get to develop people skills, and you get to see some of the world. Like we went to Mexico City. So it's just an amazing program. And after going through it, I'm not regretting my decision. I'd do it again. It has only confirmed what I thought before. AIM is a place of changing and growth beyond any other, and that's why I chose it over college. And so that's the end of my presentation. So thank you guys for giving me your time. Thank you guys for supporting me and being there for me. Love you guys, and that's it.